I was at the State of the Region breakfast with Dr. Cook here a week or so ago. I'm sure some others here were there as well. And he laid a real bomb, I think, on the audience about how dismal our economic prognosis is for the next several years. And one of the things that he pointed out was that 45% of our economy here in Hampton Roads is tied to federal spending. So we're very vulnerable to that one industry that you just mentioned. I was just at an event yesterday with Peter Shaw, who's an economics professor at Tidewater Community College, who said that at current rates we'll be at 61% dependence by 2020. There's a lot of folks who look at this and say, that's not a good situation for any community to be in, to be that dependent on one source of money. I'll start with you, Scott Ridgell. You're next to answer this question. Is that a concern you have that we need to diversify our economy, or is it the job of the Congressman to make sure that we do get to 61% and not go down from 45 to something less?
It's the job of whoever has the great privilege to represent this wonderful district to cast a clear and compelling vision, not only for the people of the district on job creation, but for any potential employer to come in and we sell the world's best port. We sell the wonderful assets that we have, our people, over 13,000 of our men and women who leave the military every year, trained, drug-free, ready to go. What a great asset we have there. So Joel, yes, we have to have a leader that has the vision and the commitment, the deep resolve to diversify our economy. That has to happen on the potential that we have for alternative energies, to lead right here in nuclear, to lead also in biomedical. We can talk about where we go with that. And certainly, for example, the wind energy that we have off the coast of Virginia. These are practical, very practical steps that we can take, yet the federal government is inhibiting this growth. One quick example, 7 to 9 years to get just the permit to have a wind farm off the coast of Virginia. And in Great Britain, it's just 2 years. As an entrepreneur, this just grates at me. I'm just thinking, hey, let's get these department heads and let's work together on a cross-functional team to tighten up all these regulations so that we can get approvals in a much shorter time frame.
But part of the challenge with the two things you mentioned, and I guess the other one would be oil drilling off the coast, is the Navy, which has raised certain objections to positioning oil rigs and wind farms and such.
Right.
Where do you fall on that?
They are not mutually exclusive. I am confident if our Navy ships can go around objects all over the world, they can certainly navigate around these. There are responsible ways.
We've got an aircraft carrier former commander.
Yeah, listen, there's responsible ways that we can meet the legitimate needs of our Navy and also press forward. This is the mind of an optimist. This is the mind of an entrepreneur. We will find a way. We can do both. They're not mutually exclusive.
Congressman Nye.
Yeah, there are a lot of issues now for us to answer right now, but let's start by saying, in terms of approach to the economy, and I agree that a vision is important, it's also important to have a proven track record on the issues. And I want to ask you to look at what folks that are independent are saying about this race. They've looked at the candidates in this race, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the National Federation of Independent Business, and others have said, I'm the best candidate in this race for jobs in the economy, based on a proven track record. I know Kenny will tell you they didn't look at his candidacy, but they certainly did look at two of us on the stage and made a decision between us. Kenny has raised an important issue, and yes, we need to decrease our dependency economically on the military, and that includes things that I've worked on, like steering federal funding to developing the Heartland Corridor, the Crescent Corridor, so we have better rail links to feed our port and grow the amount of work we can do through the Port of Virginia here in Norfolk, and also supporting passenger rail so we can increase our economic potential here in the area. But there's also an important element here, and that is continuing to fight and win on the important military issues that have to do with our economy right now. I'm not going to give up on those issues. I've been taking on the fight. I picked up the carrier issue, started on day one, formed a bipartisan team, and we're winning on that issue now. We've pushed that back over 5 years, and that protects over 10,000 jobs in our local economy. We're going to keep winning on that issue. The Joint Forces Command issue is another important one. It represents thousands of jobs in the local economy. I have also been working in a bipartisan team with the governor, with Randy Forbes, with others on the Armed Services Committee, and we are making big progress on that right now. There's more work to be done, but just this past week, I finally convinced the chairman of the Armed Services Committee to send a letter to the Defense Department saying he agrees with the Virginia team on this issue saying, I'm not going to support letting GIFCOM be closed or any changes be made there before a fact-based analysis is done that would show potentially if there's even any money to be saved. I don't think there is, but at the very minimum, we have to push to have that analysis done before a decision is made about what we're going to do on Joint Forces Command. We are making good progress. I believe that the chairman siding with us now achieves our goal of pushing this into the 2012 budget process. It slows it down, it stops any changes, and gives us an opportunity to continue to make the Virginia delegation case for the jobs at Joint Forces Command. We're moving forward on that right now.
Okay, we're talking about our dependence on federal spending in this community at 45%, projected to go even higher. Is that a challenge for us or an opportunity? How would you look at it?
I thought we were talking about driving aircraft carriers.
Well, you can answer that question.
I'm the only one up here that's ever driven an aircraft carrier. I love both of you guys, but I wouldn't trust either one of you. And seriously, I have. I actually learned how to drive aircraft carriers driving the USS Enterprise. And I can assure you, you're right, we can put them anywhere we have to. If that was a problem with operating with oil wells and wind vanes off the coast of Virginia here, we would not have a single ship in the Persian Gulf right now, and we have probably at least 50 as we speak right now. So talking about the amount of money, I did not agree with the 61%. It is going, the percentage is going to go down, okay? It is not going to go up. And it's particularly not going to go up when we have the 6,000 jobs, one of which I had, and I was a deputy director of Joint Forces Command, so I understand that. And of course, if we lose those aircraft carriers, which makes absolutely no sense. We were driving by Hampton Roads yesterday, and there were no aircraft carriers there, so we don't have to worry about Pearl Harbor. So it is a problem, and it is a problem that we can solve, and we have to keep that military here for the reason that Scott talked about. They're motivated young men and women that are leaving the service, about 1,300 over a year. Each aircraft carrier has a crew of 4,000. Those people leave and come out. We need those young men and women for our businesses here to springboard into the energy business, and we need to have an increase in education. At Oxford University, there are 30 colleges. From Williamsburg to Moncks Corner, there are 38 here in Virginia Beach and Hampton Roads, and we need to utilize those to increase the areas that we're talking about, that Glenn talked about, the corridor out there. And we can do that.
Thank you. Well, let me follow up on the military we're talking about, because